grant that we do receive. Okay, any other questions? Concerns? Okay,
Thank you for your questions.
yes,
We rarely get them. Thank you.
just a little bit of education of, what some of the grants are, so, thank you. I guess we can close the hearing at 9:02, according to my watch. Okay. Yeah,
No, there was no paperwork submitted or did push me your minutes unless there was a resolution.
I have a report that was sent to me,
okay.
but it just states what the grant.
I would say what I've seen in the past, I've not seen where the commissioners would have to take action on it.
I was told to leave you guys the report.
Okay,
And then,
probably for Colleen.
Yes,
Files.
and then
Okay.
to bring back the signage.
Okay,
Do you guys need anything else from me?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you for
I will-
coming.
Yes. I will.
Nice to meet you.
You too, short and sweet. I will be nice for you here and I will take that. Thank you guys.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
I guess we'll move down and go through the minutes and the claims. Tim, can I get you to make a motion to approve the minutes for the December 5th meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Claims 1 through 253 in the amount of $322,296.70. Payroll claims.
I'll make the motion to accept.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Reported collections as submitted for the clerk, health department, and recorder for the month of November.
Make a motion to accept.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Review and acknowledge the clerk's monthly report for November.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Art Council, Jim Haga.
Jim's here.
Okay, I thought I seen him.
Yes, I'm here on behalf of County Art Council. We would like to wish to use the atrium on January 15th, a Sunday, from 12:30 until 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Copy line, and just get some.
We'll just have you work out getting a key from Colleen, for that. I think that's what we've done in the past. If you need us to make a motion
Yeah.
for
I'll
that.
make a motion to let the art council use the courthouse atrium. What date was it?
January 15th,
January 15th.
12:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
12:30.
That's my motion.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
2-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome to leave unless you want to stick around. Okay. Okay, so now we're down to the resolution 2022-41.
Okay. Where we are at on this resolution, I want to speak loud enough so everybody can hear it back. John originally presented his resolution. Our attorneys went through it and made some change some things, mainly footnotes and things like that. He didn't feel needed to be on there. I have reviewed it with our soon-to-be county health director, our health officer. He is a anesthesiologist out of Crawfordville, Indiana. Dan Hessler is his name. The issue with taking any action on it right now is he doesn't officially take office until January 1st of 2023. I don't know how many people know it, but we have recently broken away from the Warren County, Fountain County Health Department. So we're just going to be Fountain County. And part of the reason that was done, just to let everyone know, is that we didn't agree with some of the things that happened during the COVID crisis. The current health doctor, and we just totally didn't disagree with Paula. Would you say that was a correct assumption for the county? So we went on our own. We've we've developed our own board, our own health board with people all from Fountain County. They will have their first official meeting in January. We are having a get together with them tomorrow night, just so everybody can be introduced to the new staff and the new board members can all meet. But it's not going to be an official meeting and no business will be discussed. It's just for them to meet. Dr. Hessler and I have talked about this. We've read through it, the revision. He thinks, and I agree with him, that it is too broad at this point. We all absolutely agree that pornography is wrong. It's bad. But the way the statute currently reads is it covers adults too. It can be read to cover adults. We want to focus on children because it is illegal for children other than the educational exemptions, which maybe work our way up from here, and that's the goal of this whole thing. So what we want to do, we want to get it right to be able to move up into where maybe the state would take a look at it instead of just go, you know, there's another. Or maybe some other commissioners might sign off on something like this. But I want time to personally sit down with Dr. Hessler, myself, and we can bring John in, and we can all sit down and go over what we're trying to accomplish here specifically. And I will tell you on public record that I will bring this to a vote. I'm not gonna give you, I'm not gonna say January or February. I hope to have it done by then, if we work quick enough. But I will bring it to the vote on the floor. And that's all I can say. But I want,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
So, pretty much the consensus agrees that pornography is not good for children.
Right. No. it's-
Why in the world do you want to let tax dollars be spent to propagate pornography for adults? Because basically, you said that the doctor said, yeah, he agrees about children, but as far as the adults are concerned,
It's not.
let's pull back a little bit on
It's
that.
not illegal.
Right, that's why we're here.
Yeah, well, we're never, I mean, we don't have any authority at all to make that, to make that illegal. No authority.
That even when public tax dollars are being spent on it.
I mean, what? I mean, most pornography is probably picked up with these things.
Right, but it's also in the library, it's also, I mean, it's incredible how much our public library has of this garbage.
Yeah. The library boards, and I think you find if you went to the local, just as a school system. I said this has started, I've done a lot of research with the school system. They all have a computer program for their Chromebooks called Guardian. An example out of Covington was the principal went to look up for a staff party, murder mysteries. They were going to have a staff party. She put murder mysteries in. It blocked her because it obviously mentioned murder. In Fountain Central, a school board member's child had some free time at school one day and put Cabela's in because he wanted a pair of boots. It blocked him. He thought that it was just a mistake, so he hit it again. He got called down to administration. Cabela's sells weapons. So the systems are tied down pretty heavy on what those kids can access. Now these, we have no control over what they do with them, but the school, and then at Fountain Central, the school board member I spoke with, that spoke openly about it, said during his tenure, and I don't know how long that's been, they've had 2 issues with books. And both times, they just simply pulled the book. The parent came in, had a problem with it, they pulled it. Supposedly, now I don't know this for a fact, but there was supposedly 2 books at Covington. I was told that one wasn't there, and the other was pulled by the superintendent. It was in the high school library, and it was pulled by the superintendent for review. Now, I don't know, I haven't heard what his review was it, and so that's, the schools in Fountain County, as far as I know, are doing a good job of keeping it out. So, now again, no one can control these phones or anything. We can only take a stance, which I promise you. And I think if you talk to anyone in this room that knows me, Paula, I do what I say. And I'm not a typical, I can say that. I'm not a typical federal politician or state politician. I will do what I say, and that is to work on this with our public health doctor, John, and then we'll bring it to a vote. But it's not something we're taking lightly, or we would have just signed, I might have just signed this thing and thought, oh, it's over, who cares what happens to it or whatever, but I would like to see some good come out of it. So that's where we're at.
Gonna say time is of the essence.
Okay, and I will move it along.
So do we have a copy of the revised?
I can get you one.
Can you make that a PDF so we can share it?
Can you,
If not,
this is,
This is it. This is that free page that you just emailed us. I know I had shared it with Joey. I think I see
Yeah.
it come in. I shared it with Joey.
yeah, here it is. I'm not good on computers, so I can't do PDFs and stuff.
So that is the latest resolution that has been revised that
The
we're still
doctor,
gonna review.
our current doctor coming in and thought it was still too broad. He wants to get a better understanding of the end goal. So. And he's a very. Obviously, he's an anesthesiologist, he's a very intelligent man and a Christian.
Can I ask you what a health professional has to do with moral integrity?
Well, this is under the thing of a public health issue. So he's a public health officer.
Gotcha.
He is basically signing off on this with the commissioners.
Thank you.
Did you have a question?
well, I had a comment.
Okay,
And I guess I do have a question too.
Okay.
The first part would be, I suppose, a question. My understanding is this is not a statute that we're looking at, it's just a resolution of a position.
Yeah,
And
not enforceable at all.
Sure.
Yes, it's not enforceable at all.
Right, and we don't expect that. What we're
Right.
expecting is an official position on the subject.
Yes,
And even though probably no one's expecting a mass change in position on the general public's part on demography, it's still damaging to adults as it is to children. And so, to me, the resolution wording is irregardless of whether it refers to children or adults. It's damaging. It's more damaging to children because in their formative years, if they're exposed to it, they start developing habits that go into the subconscious mind and affect them for a lifetime if it's not resolved.
right.
But
Well, we will involve John in our meetings,
I appreciate that.
and he can, put all his input in.
Right.
And honestly, John's a little over my head sometimes because he's so intelligent. But he and Dr. Hester can talk it out.
Well, I hope you can appreciate our frustration because.
Yeah,
And the restraint that's being shown because, we see no point in delay. To express an official position on condemning pornography. I see no point in delaying that decision. Unless it's for sidestepping the issue. Now, I may be mistaken here, and I understand what you're saying. That this has now become, categorized into health issues, so you bring in.
it was to begin with. The first one was health.
But it's also a moral issue, it's probably in its infancy, moral issue more than it is a health issue. But nevertheless, I think that's all I need to say. You understand where we are.
Yeah.
I heard what you said, and I can appreciate that. I don't think it's valid, but nevertheless, if I was in your position, I may make the same decision, so I grant you that,
Thank you.
but we're wanting some action to build momentum, and we're just feeling put off and put off and put off. But that's what you do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Then you were saying how you wanted to speak with the other commissioners from the other counties that were dealing with the porn issues in the schools. What did you find out from them?
None of them are acting, and I will tell you that one or two, they won't even, have it on their agenda to deal with, so. I mean, we at least opened that door, and so now we have to deal with it, you know. We can deny, you know, people on the agenda or limit.
Okay,
But-
because last meeting you had said you were on.
Yeah, and we did.
And so
I think, Tim, you probably talked to some too regarding it, and it's just not,
yeah,
they've not been
actually have-
approached, or they're not even interested in, acting on it.
They say it's not the counties,
And people will
but again,
just leave them alone, and then they go to other sources higher up to get action.
Well, what you're getting into is, I mean, the commissioners don't have the authority. If you're, the books in the library, the responsibility of the library board. Books in the schools, the responsibility of the school board and those elected officials. Asking a body like the commissioners to pass a viewpoint resolution, which morally, everything can be right and but you're creating legal issues when you're asking them to take viewpoints, because all the passion that's in the room right now about this very important issue. Just think how you would feel if a group that was promoting an issue that you're diametrically opposed to comes in and wants the commissioner to pass a resolution saying to support that issue. And they think it's morally right in their position. They want the commissioners to support X. And how many groups are gonna come in, and then as soon as they take it, it's the same thing, Mr. Hague's here asking to use the atrium. My position legally is this is everybody's courthouse, and that's great. It's the art league, what's wrong with that? Well, you're letting the art league come in and use it, but what do you do when the Klan wants to come in and have a meeting? And you tell them no.
It's as simple as that.
So if you're comfortable with having the position stated in this that has a resolution is a statement of policy. If then other groups that want to come and have their viewpoint represented in resolutions, that's a potential Pandora's box legally on viewpoint discrimination. So that's why it's very important to be deliberate and for them to get it right, to achieve what you want and to be slow and deliberate.
So we've sent the last commissioners meeting on December the 5th, 2022. We've had 2 meetings here in the county, 50 plus in attendance at each of the meetings. I don't see a widely changed, one change I see is county commissioners, it's a county council as well. You state as being that we need to stay with the children, that we're focusing on protecting children.
Well, if an adult is viewing pornography and then goes and acts out the pornography upon a child, maybe we need to nip it in the bud at the adult level as well. It's a position statement. Yes, the library board, as the county attorney just stated, the library board would be the one, potentially, in charge of pulling votes from the public library. But it is my belief, and I could be incorrect, but I believe that there is one appointment that the county commission has to the library board of the Covington Petersburg Library. Am I correct on that, Rick?
Yes,
So then the position that you would hold in deciding about who's on the public library, you're going on record that if you go against this, this would be something that we would be looking at in order to have you as a library board member. So the pornography creating a public health hazard, it also goes into the moral issue, which I've been talking to pastors about. I believe that they need to preach on that as they can from the word of God, but that's not this body's concern at this time. So for a body of this importance, of a body that has the executive and the legislative oversight of the county, a statement that this is something that's harmful would be completely in your purview. Something completely within your wheelhouse. Something that you could state, something that would help your public health officer. Look forward to talking to Dr. Bixley, would help your county sheriff as well. I understand the person has not been convicted in a court of law, but it was in the public newspaper. A Petersburg resident was just arrested for sexual exploitation of a minor. The problems that pornography causes are here in Fountain County, without a doubt. Commissioner Hardy mentioned other counties that won't even get it onto their docket, their agenda, I believe, yes, onto their agenda. We get to be a first to actually come out publicly against this cancer that pornography is. You've got the support of the county. We had a young lady at one of the meetings mention her 14-year-old son is addicted to pornography right now. So this would help the young people. It would help the young people in a multiplicity of different ways. So I guess we're tabling it is what you're stating. You said you tabled it last time because we just needed 2 weeks.
and we've done a lot of work and research in 2 weeks, John. We moved it ahead.
Appreciate that.
Nothing moves fast in county government.
In committee.
And, yeah,
Do it back committee, not take a longer bit.
yes, we're trying to get it. That's-
I have a follow-up comment. I heard the attorney words, and I can appreciate the concern. As I understand it, and I'm not a history or government major by any means, but as I understand it, the reason we have county government and the reason we have city governments and so forth is that each of those entities can determine what they want in their own domain. And by virtue of that, we have established a state that has official positions on multiple issues that make it either attractive for people to come and want to live here and be a citizen here, or they want to move away because they don't like what's going on. We see that in California with the gross neglect of human needs and morality. Leaving California, they're negligent in doing what they should as a government. We don't want that to happen. And we want to be proactive by saying that pornography, we identify it as wrong and as damaging both to adults and children. And if it comes down to having to make that position, that's an official statement, and then inviting others to try to press their views on other segments or elements of life, I'm perfectly willing as a taxpayer to pay an attorney to defend our right to have our own position and make us unique and protect, rather than be fearful of what door it might open for somebody else to come in and want to press them. We can say no when we want to, and we can say yes when we want. And that's why we put you in that position to make those decisions. And so that's why I'm saying I'm encouraging you Yes, I understand the attorney's concern, but as far as I'm concerned, we have an opportunity now to make a statement about our county that we live in and what we believe is right and best for our people. And I think it's your responsibility to follow on that. So thank you. Don't mean to be, small. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
And
When viewing the videos in the meetings, you could see that came from amaze.org. That's pornography, but then the children, the characters, even though they were cartoons that were portrayed were children, adolescents, 18 or 13. Well, but wait a minute, that has got to be at the level of child pornography. But let me look at what the state in the Indiana code states as defining child pornography. The only thing that kept that from being child pornography was the fact that the genitals were not shown. Other than that, it was obscene and still met the 3 questions that the Supreme Court has ruled that needs to be asked continually to determine what is pornography meets those 3 questions. And children are able to see that. Granted, there's no genitality. Still taught it almost means that. And he spurred that issue.
yeah, Joey, and then, I think we'll stop there.
But I want to say, first off, those videos that were shown, I also know me and several of the members of my church have done research, and I want to thank you all for all the research you guys have done. I know I've talked with some of you on the stuff that you've done, and not just you, but the school board, the superintendent. There's a lot of people doing a lot of work and research in this over the last 2 weeks. But one of the things, most of those amazing videos are actually blocked on our school computers, because one of our members went and looked them up on his kid's computer to make sure that they weren't able to see them, and they went and found out that they're blocked, and all the videos are blocked. So I want to let you guys know, in our town and our county, they are doing a lot of stuff already, and I want to thank you all for all the work you are doing, and we really appreciate the time and effort you're putting into this, and not rushing into something just because there's a lot of people saying you need to do it this way, that you're actually thinking about it. I want to appreciate and thank you and support you all for the effort and time you're putting into this. Thank you guys for that.
Thank you. And actually, I want to close on this. There is not one single county that we've talked to that said, do this. They all say quite the opposite. Run. Don't even open it up. But we are doing our own homework. We're not listening to them. We don't care if they think we're nuts or whatever for opening this up. We're looking into it. That's why we are doing our health doctor in, and I'll represent the commissioners, and John can represent the public. So that's it.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
And bringing, to light, and so that we can do our homework, but everybody needs to, in your meetings that you're having. Did you?
I
have
asked to speak, can I,
Yeah.
are you closing this?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. First of all, I did have a question about something that you said earlier, that the computers in the school were locked down and safe. Just throwing this out there, last week when I went to the school website to look for some information, I clicked on maybe staff directory, and a porn site came up. And my brother had the same thing happen. Now I closed out my browser, I came back in, it did not come up, but I wish I would screenshot what I saw. So we can say everything is safe, but when it's happening to me in my home, why is that on the, I know it's not the school system's fault, like I know they're not putting porn on the school system. But I'm just saying, for us to have this mentality that, quote, everything is safe is really not a good mentality to have.
I don't think that everything is safe.
No, I think what the school, the Chromebooks and everything
Yes,
They've done,
have their security.
so this,
Your own computer
Yes.
or mine probably doesn't have those settings unless you put them in there.
so,
And so as a parent, parents need to parent.
So
Okay, and I
you're
think
right.
that's a concern.
yes, so my additional question is, if the Chromebooks are locked down at the school, which is, you're saying they are, so we'll say that
You
they
can
are.
bring those Chromebooks home and still try to access, and you're gonna get shut down.
Yes, but my question is, if that material is deemed educational, is it still coming through the Chromebook? Because there were several books that I looked up last week that are pornographic. They do chill, didn't tell you. Now, if those books are quote educational, this is my question, and I know you guys are gonna know the answer, but is it coming through the Chromebook anyway because it's educational? This is like trying to get a hold of a. Yeah, and really what I wanted to say to you today was that this week, we're all talking about preparing for a snow emergency. I'm sure y'all have dealt with this, like, we've got a weather forecast coming, we have a storm coming, and we're all preparing. And if we think that this issue is not a storm, but the problem is this storm is already here. It's blowing already, it's 50-mile-an-hour winds, and we're in 12 inches of snow deep, and we've got a major problem. And it needs resolved, and I thank you that you're taking it seriously and that you're looking at it. It needs to be addressed because this problem is way worse than we understand. So I thank you for doing it. I ask you to be persistent and keep pushing forward because it's our responsibility to protect our kids.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome to leave if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting. I just ask that you leave quietly so that we can continue on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Okay, City of Attica, we have a petition to cancel tax penalties and interest from parcel number 23-0406. We can 039.000-008 in the amount of $425.56. And I take it that the auditor, treasurer, and assessor have worked together on researching why those taxes need to be moved. And I think you guys can't as well. Okay.
Okay.
We signed the petition, all three of us.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Okay, and I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 2-0. Property 2385 East State Road 234, settlement agreement and release of claims.
Make a motion to accept. We're getting the property gave to us for in lieu of applying from the health department.
Okay, do we need, and we'll be signing papers to remove those? Yeah, I think Kid's got those. Okay.
I
all those in
reviewed it,
favor?
I don't have any issue with the release.
Okay. He doesn't have any, all those in
But
favor?
just as well, though.
A limit.
But the only issue is make sure that you're comfortable with the condition of the property, because it's as is where is. Right. And.
Jenny or Eric back there.
Where, you know, their underground storage, however, the property is, just how.
Okay. Well, in what we're going to do, Ken, is ask you to do a document that says that whoever buys the property has to tear the house down. That's what we-
And the barn.
And the
any
barn.
structures.
Now, you haven't found any underground,
I
So
haven't
my-
seen anything, but there was
Right.
a lot of growth that's been
Well-
cut down.
and to my knowledge, I mean, I'm 60 years old. I never remember there being a gas station along through there, it's always just been a residence. So I can't imagine, you know, you usually know where the old gas stations were, if they were that before, just a residence.
Tim, is this a property the county is acquiring?
Yes, it was, 2 years ago, the health department went out and, this place was literally just full of trash. The grounds, the house, everything was abandoned supposedly, a bank in Kentucky owned it. They wouldn't do anything because of COVID, so we started putting $500 a day, fines on them.
I remember that.
Yeah,
So-
so finally,
What we could do, there's a federal database that we can run, and it costs about $600. And they'll tell us if there ever was an underground storage tank recorded or registered in that property or around it.
it may be a waste of $600, or it may be $600 that you spend, you say with the partial due diligence, it doesn't mean a full phase one ESA, but it could be, maybe with the screening, the engineer looked at it, it's fine. Or we may find a tank and we're like, oops, we got a tank, and we can do something with it.
So do you want to do that before we act on this?
I would, yeah, because
Okay.
once you sign the release thing, you're accepting the property as it
Okay.
is.
Well, we just won't take a vote on that and we'll just. Are you okay with doing that?
Yeah, it will be 2 weeks to get the report, by our next meeting, we should have something, like,
Okay.
say, I found something, or I found that.
Okay.
Because ultimately, we're gonna turn around and sell the property anyhow, so we can get the $600 back out of the sale of the property.
Okay, sounds good.
So what you're saying is you're gonna.
Yeah, I'll run a report on it,
Okay.
and it will show on that property, and within half a mile, if there's any USD, ASD, any, any contamination that's been reported. Spills, anything.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good.
I need an address, please.
Okay.
Oh, it's, yeah, you don't have the agenda, it's on the agenda, but. We'll get that to you. Ordinance 2202-4 adopting a public-private agreement. Oh, is that? What's that?
It's just for introduction, the files and vote on it at your January meeting.
Oh, okay,
This is the procurement process under this statute requires that you adopt an ordinance that adopts all the statutes. And you can see
okay,
it's a very long ordinance. But it sets out the process on how you complete a BOT by, no,
DOT.
DOT,
yeah,
Okay.
by operate
And transfer, yeah.
okay.
bought.
Okay.
So then we will act on that in January.
Correct.
Okay. Just make note of that. Okay, Paula, I know you brought to our attention the township board members. And Paula is back, okay. Sorry. That's okay. So I know Tim and I was working on trying to fill some positions. And I don't know if you want us to go over what we were able to do or not. So Davis, I left a message. I did not get a third person. Nancy Taylor has not called me back. Ralph Wolf did. He couldn't think of anyone that would be willing to fill that spot.
Okay.
So,
Technically, if there's two board members, they have a quorum the whole meeting, so
Okay.
they're okay. And you have until December 31st to appoint someone, if you should happen to find someone before then.
okay. Fulton Township, I left a message with Brandon Ricketts to see if he had, at one time, he had interest. He has not called me back.
Okay.
So again, Fulton Township is another one. They only have the two. Logan Township, I did talk to, who did I talk to? Vicki Jordan, and she is interested in doing that. So Logan's good.
So Mill Creek, I talked to the new trustee, Mary McDaniel Nelson. And she had already spoke with Ruth Ann Shove, Catherine Ratcliffe, and Mike Barrett. They're all willing to serve on her board. So that's taken care of. Richland Township, I spoke with Dana Stonebreaker. Jerry Quirk, Kelly Krug is in, and then Melissa Bible will be the third. I reported that all to you.
I think you took care of Kane, right? Front page.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Sorry, I skipped
Yeah.
you.
So I spoke with Tiffany Bowling, the trustee of Kane. And she has Linda Croft agreed again, George Deal. And Cheryl Harshbarger will be the third, and I think I contacted you on that. She said that she had all her paperwork in time. and it was not turned in by the Republican chair in time, so I just wanted to point that out.
That is
And-
correct.
Well,
And I think there was one other that might have mentioned that.
There's actually several others.
Okay, I just know what, yeah. Okay,
Shawnee, talked to John Allen and Steve is still interested in, that position.
Let's do one thing.
I'm gonna spell it for you.
Okay.
It's MROCCKIEWIZ.
he previously served.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
and I do have. Anyway. Troy, I don't think there was anything.
No, well, added them all back. So. Do we need to make a motion?
You guys are appointing
Okay,
all of these people to
Okay.
each. And it's no longer called advisory board member. Advisory was taken out back in 1989.
Okay,
The law has changed, and so their official title is township board member.
Okay. I make a motion to accept all the township board members that we just met.
and I'll,
Left off the ballot or not.
and I'll second those. Good. So I guess we just need to work on Davis and Bolton.
Then the swearing in is,
Public swearing ceremony is today at 11:30 in the courtroom.
Okay,
okay,
so how do we, do the Davis and Bolton if we don't find anybody by December 31st?
Then it is.
Do it next year?
they just, they'll
It does that too.
I think actually it'll just be a vacancy.
Okay,
I don't know, because you have until December 31st to appoint to fill this position. After that, I'm not sure what the process would be.
So can we do that in January though?
I would have to research it.
okay. Well, you can let us know.
Okay.
We have a letter of commitment. Do you have anything else before I move on to the next?
Actually, I do. It has come to my attention that when I have employees on lunch in my office, that another office that has access to the security cameras will buzz over and say, hey, I know you're in there, pick up, I see you. And I don't really appreciate that. If we have courthouse security, it should just be for courthouse security, not for other employees' use. And so I would like something to be done about that.
What can you?
Cover your camera?
Huh? Well, if they have access to all the videos and they're sitting there watching videos instead of working. It's not their job. I don't appreciate it. So I would like, in my office, I would like that camera blocked from their purview.
Well, okay.
Well, I thought we'd already addressed this.
Well, apparently
Me
it
too.
didn't happen. So
Okay. Nothing came out.
my
Okay.
feathers are ruffled.
Like I said, that was my thing. I thought we had already.
So,
Okay,
okay.
That's all I have.
so is that camera in a non-public area? I mean, you'll still have your cameras on, or is the whole area that they can see?
The whole area.
Okay, so if I'm sitting at my
I've
desk.
got a camera in front of us that shows our.
Right.
dashboard. That's the main one that, you know, we see coming and going.
Right, right.
There's a camera in the hallway that addresses my back door. You can see people coming and going on my back door. In the office where my records are, where my desk is, there's a camera in the corner and that's the one.
Okay.
So when I'm just gonna take paper around it or whatever, you guys don't do it. We're looking for it. Something.
Thank you.
All right, we go move on to the letter of commitment. So we have Ready Grant, there's funding, huh?
Thank you, Paul.
I'm good.
Okay. We have funding available in our region and one is for childcare. And I know the president, council was, I wanted them to act on it so that I could let Reddy know, you know, if we were in or not. And just to give you a little history of what we have in the county right now, there is 802, under 5, there's 1,300 and 802 that are in need of childcare. Right now, we only have 3 programs that service 144 kids.
You know, that all had started.
Attica Learning Center. Then you got the Fountain Warren Head Start, 44 there, Southeast Fountain, 44, so it's like 100 at the Attica. Oh, wait a second. So anyway, I reached out to the Covington superintendent. He did not call me back last week because I had heard that there was maybe a program that they were interested in doing. And so I wanted to get some more information, whether that was just for the faculty's children, for them to facilitate. I need to find that out.
I know that I was approached by one of the administrators, and at that time it was just for faculty's children.
Okay,
But I'm not saying it's not. But
so from what I'm hearing, there is a need, you know, if you want people to work, you need to have childcare. And years ago, Covington had a nice childcare, but then it got to the point where the paperwork, people weren't wanting to mess with it and everything. So I do have a commitment letter. It would be $23,950 for the next 3 years if Fountain County, you know, wants to participate
and
in
what are they
this.
giving us for what, that's our match? What are
That
they-
is our match. 400,000 is the estimated impact
So
of,
70,000 versus getting 300 or whatever.
yes, the county match would be 80 and the rest, yeah, 400,000. So anyway, if there,
They need a motion.
yes, we would need to make a motion to sign this and then we'll have to
Sign the letter of commitment, council. Figure out a way to fund.
second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
And what I don't have on the agenda is another grant that the Ready region has is housing. And there's over $4 million. The state match is $1 to $2 million and our county is getting $1 million, but then they have some extra funds, so they added to that $498,920 that's available. So at this time, there are 2
So,
housing
hold on a
projects
second.
going on, yes.
Just for the public, this money is all coming out of the Ready grant, which,
We're part of
last
that.
year, the Lafayette region, which we're part of, received $30 million from the state of Indiana. So what we're trying to do is Fountain County is stay involved for once in the history of our county. And actually try to provide some good services. When they come along. And for very small investments. Now, this housing, we don't have to invest anything, do we?
No,
Okay.
we don't have a.
So we're getting basically $1.5 million for no local match. There are only 2 projects in the county right now, and they have to be ready to go. One of them is in Covington, and the monies will be given, we're going to split it 50-50. So the money will be given to the city of Covington and the city of Attica because they have projects ready to roll. And it would take a year or 2 to get projects ready to roll for anyone else in the community. I mean, these things are, I've seen one of the stacks of paper that thick, full of requirements and everything for this, so.
And the grant period is July 1st of this year through December 31st, 2026. So I know there's stipulations that certain things have to be done by 2024. And I think we're on track, you know, with City of Covington and Attica being done in those timeframes. And they're both 40+ housing. So we just decided it would be best if we split 50-50. The money would go to the cities, not to individuals. Because I know how people like to speculate, and so I just want to make that clear that all funds will go through the cities. Yes,
Well, the project for Hillsborough sewage and water being completed before 2026.
Well, that's not, it doesn't, that doesn't have anything to do with.
that's
this.
ARPA,
That's
that's
ARPA.
ARPA funds.
Yeah, but I mean,
But-
they come in then and get some of this. and
No, this is,
That area.
this is, well. Yeah, for housing, possibly, but it takes a lot to get ready for this thing. I mean, a lot.
Now, we're hearing that there could possibly be some more
More.
grants coming through with the housing, so maybe by that time period, we get the sewer, water out there,
I mean,
maybe they would.
And at this point, Carol, we know that we've got 2 in Fountain County ready to roll.
And where is
That
it
we-
coming
Behind
The
the
BMB,
senior,
the Senior,
from? The branch property, right?
he owns the property
He owns
that
the
goes to
property.
the city of Covington for the sewer and infrastructure. Yep,
And it's already laid, it's already in,
it's already what?
is it already in?
Oh, no, nothing's started, I know
I mean, there's been studies done that,
of. Well, she said, is it in sewer system in?
oh, no, that's what we're wanting to give the city of Covington help with this project, because it's gonna bring new homes in that will be on the tax roll, and, since the school didn't want to make that a tip residential, you know, we can designate these funds to go where we want, and they're ready for this project, so it just made sense, you know, to split it, you know, that way we have, and if Petersburg or something down the road, they come up with something, then
They'll be first in line for that, Hillsborough, Petersburg, Kingman, whoever,
whoever,
but these are two municipalities ready.
The grant that has been issued though, and all that.
Yeah,
is already.
right, yes, this is already in place, this is what, was it last week, they had a,
This,
press conference up in Lafayette that I attended, to where Scott Walker announced what their funds were gonna be going for, you know, so much for the housing, so much for the childcare, so much for INVETS, the Wabash River Greenway, so, you know, they've got a portfolio, you know, put together last year. I'd be happy to share it with you, Carol.
and something the subject probably also doesn't know, we put hundreds of hours into this as county commissioners over the years. I mean, it's, and then sometimes to get shot down after you've done all this work, it's just really disheartening that, you know, we try to keep the county moving forward. We are actually losing population every census we lose population. And we've got to level it off, or at least grow Fountain County, or we're just gonna die. So that's what we're trying to do.
Hey, Carol, with this, ready funding and the region that we belong to, there's several counties there, and so, we made it clear to them that we didn't want to be the stepchild. We know what our capabilities might be in Fountain County, and it's nowhere close to Lafayette, Tippecanoe County. You know, they've got all these businesses, universities, whatever. So if we can get housing, maybe people would want to live here instead of
Well,
there.
this is all new to me, and the council didn't even act like they knew what was going on.
They
Well-
probably didn't.
Because they didn't want, never mind. I've sent it to them multiple times.
Yeah, it's been sent to them, Carol, so that's all we can say.
Well, it'd be nice if somebody from that area would come and talk to the council.
I've talked to them and they
Don't
don't
want a
even,
person, I mean,
I'm on the board,
and you're.
I'm the governing board of the Ready Grant as president of the commissioners, and I go to these meetings and I share the information with the council. And I express, you know, what is available to us and
The importance of
the
it.
importance of it. Can't control them acting or not acting. So at this point, I put it on our agenda to act on, so. The housing, they don't have the control over the housing project anyway, and like I said, we don't have to commit with any funds. it's already, there's no matching funds involved. The cities have already put in a lot of time and money themselves, you know, for some of their projects.
Is it private housing or public housing on both projects?
Private. Not public.
Any other questions regarding this?
But, Josh,
Yeah.
both projects are committed to building, not building mansions. Affordable housing.
Yeah.
So even though it's not,
So both projects are companies that like TK Home comes in and builds.
or private contractors, Yep.
And I think they're
The big-
comparable.
The big drive in Attica was Harrison Steel. I mean, they don't have anybody taking a track labor, they just have no place. There's nothing
They
available.
do have some acreage set aside, you know, for their housing projects, so, but they have more than just the houses. They've got some apartments. I think they're wanting, but that's gonna be down the road. They're not really ready for that yet. Okay, so the amount that we're gonna split it 50-50, City of Attica will get $749,460, and the City of Covington will get that same amount. Their grant money.
I make a motion to accept that.
I'll second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I'll take care of the paper and get that, to you.
I would like to thank you for staying on the Ready Grant and making it available.
I'm happy that, you know, it's working out, you know, for City of Covington and Acton as well.
We got some of the grant too, right, and duplexes.
Yeah, you know, I would love to see the people that we want to come and work here having affordable housing and not be people just building that $250,000 home that,
No,
and then we're paying for it.
That's exactly right, I mean, but the county isn't paying for it.
But that's what I'm doing.
it's just funds that was available. They spread it amongst the counties that involved in this region. And so we're just making use of those dollars.
And I will say that the Lafayette people have been very gracious and done everything they said on the Ready Grant. They have shared. They've given us our share. So they could have taken it all, yeah. They literally could have said, we got it, we're done. So, and, yeah. Okay,
Okay, if we turn over to the department heads.
Yard,
Morning.
Morning.
So just one thing, bring to your attention, group of, attorneys we work that we kind of watch, videos on for EMS law. It's called PWW Media. They told us about a year ago that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services was going to send out a data collection period, basically what they're looking for, and I got the letter here and I'll give a copy to Colleen. So basically what is they're collecting cost, revenue, utilization, and other information from ground ambulance organization to determine if Medicare payments for ground ambulance services are adequate. So basically, it is not an investigation into us. It is basically what they're looking at is, they pick certain ambulance, ground ambulance services through the United States or within, this area. We have to for 12 months, and I've already determined we're going from January 1st to December 31st of 2023. We will gather this information. We have 5 months after. Well, we have up till May of 2024 to report this information to them. So, it is not by all means any investigation into the ambulance service for Medicare fraud or whatever. It is basically gathering this information to find out, are we being paid adequately. It has been an ongoing discussion for 2 or 3 years. There's a lot of ambulance organizations that are going under because they're not being paid. Well, I guess you want to say, and there is a lot of Medicare, individuals out there on Medicare, so that's the reason why. So I want to just clarify that with you, and I'll give you guys, if you guys want a copy of it, you can look at it. But I've already submitted to them, so all we gotta do is, they gave me a website where I can go in and it'll help me move through and create the template where we can gather all that information. So I just want to go on record that we have to, we don't, the problem is if we don't, and I do not do this after May of next year or of 2024, we will take a 10% reduction in our Medicare and collections. So, yeah, so I don't think we want to deny it. That's why we're doing that. Other than that, that's all I got. No updates on the trucks or anything, so.
Garth, is your floor done?
No, it's not. The floor is done. It's just, got a quote from Tim Romer. We are looking at replacing all of the floor, with a scratch resistant type of floor. Got, patents coming in this week, giving me a quote on the same stuff that Tim gave me, so we can compare apples to apples. And I'll probably present that first of the year. So, no, we've not had no issues with any drainage. Everything's been great. Matt came in 6 weeks afterwards, ran the camera up through there. Everything good. Well, the only issue we have, and it's not, is the one bathroom coming off the hazmat bathroom, coming over, which is going underneath. There's a little bit of a valley, which we saw. A little bit of a hang up there, but we're able to resolve that. But everything on the living quarter side is good.
That bathroom is an efficiency flush or a normal flush?
Normal flush. We switched that to the higher flush.
You should be all right.
Yeah. So, that's all I got. Unless you guys have anything for me. Okay.
Nope.
Thank you, Gar.
Sheriff here?
No.
Where's he been? Give him a call. Jason, you're up.
Before the sheriff and the town of Petersburg's had some issues with the grinding system.
Oh,
Saying it's not
yes.
working, and
$8.
DA Dot came out. And the town of Petersburg was also there. And the grinder is working. I don't know why things are getting through or whatever, but I just wanted to report that we have addressed it. We're supposed to attend the Petersburg town meeting in January to discuss.
This is in response to the letter.
Yes, yes. So something about way over my head, technical screens and this and that. This unit does not have a screen, but supposedly it doesn't need a screen. And a screen's $100,000 to put in.
They're not cheap. We just got 2 of them in Rockville.
Oh, so Rockwell's having the same problem?
Exact same problem. Rags coming out of the jails and prison, the women's prison. Female products, syringes, stuff that the grinder gets caught up on them. So what we did was install 2 grinders, we put the screens in. And the screens can run continuously. They'll take the big items, they've caught shoes, they've caught,
Well, Terry was gonna call Rockville, because I don't know whether he had an idea they were doing that.
yeah, he can call me.
So, okay.
I designed a screen for them.
Why don't, yeah, or I forget, you reach out to him, but I'll try to remember to tell.
I'll be happy to help.
Okay.
But it's not cheap.
Oh, no, we knew that, and it's gotta be done, it's gotta be done, because Petersburg can't continue to get their system shut down. Do you want to attend that meeting?
If you want.
Deal with
I'll be happy to.
I'll get the
Next time we
text.
have for you.
Okay,
I'll be happy.
okay,
That-
thank you,
that thing,
same problem, yeah, okay,
Ready for Jason now?
Jason, I'm sorry.
You're all right.
we're just kind of getting prepared for the potential storm for this weekend. Wednesday, we are going to meet with the schools, and Andrew Tina set up a meeting for Wednesday, to meet with the schools about winter emergency preparations and everything. Andrew was on that list, but has not been back with her yet, and didn't know if one of you would like to sit in with him, be Wednesday at 9 o'clock here. If not, it's no big deal, we're just getting things ready for this upcoming storm. I know school runs.
For now.
I do too. With that being said, we're gonna get the trucks and graders ready Wednesday. If it is blowing and freezing cold like they're saying, we'll just play it by ear and see what we can do. But we have 6 new guys that are plowing this year, so it's gonna be slow going. So. I didn't tell them we'd rather be slow and careful. Right. If it's doing what they say it's gonna do Friday, we're not gonna be able to keep up on anything. Right, still high wind. But, didn't know about having them being on call for the weekend. What do you guys think about that? I mean, that blizzard comes in, you gotta. If they're on call, there's a different pay, right? No. No. I thought it was just overtime. Just overtime. After they're out.
I know we tried to get something, and I really would like to entertain that discussion with you.
Next year. Yeah. But other than that, Colleen sent me an email Friday about getting our map updated. I already spoke to her, our county map. I would like to possibly look at doing that. I don't know who did that in the past, but
It's a joint effort between commissioners and the highway department. Is he still?
Walt's back there.
Walt was involved in that.
But some of
The
our
maps, we're talking about the road maps, the last time that it was updated. It's been a
Highway
while.
superintendent.
You were highway superintendent, I think the last time we updated our maps, our road maps.
Oh, that was,
99.
it should be written on the old maps.
99.
99.
That was the old gesture, they did, funny times all the time.
And I know
So
we-
there's
we've
a
got
lot
to-
of roads on there that we can actually, like, there's that one through Patlands. There's a few that we can eliminate, there's a few that have been changed. Yeah. Gravel and chip and seal, there's. Okay. Just some name changes and just minor things like that. Yeah. Have an updated county map. Absolutely. Something. It's time. So. Is it 91 or 99? 99. Yeah, so.
You know, you and I talked about, looking at an asset management plan for all your culverts. That would be a good time to do a full assessment of the roads. We can log what type of roads there are. I was
wondering if we could incorporate that.
absolutely. I mean, we're gonna be there anyway. We're gonna hit every road, might as well just log what it is, gravel, chip and seal, asphalt, concrete. That would be a good time to do that.
That'd be great. We are currently working on our 5-year plan for our upcoming pavement, chip and seal projects. We're working on that, Travis and I are. So we'll have an updated plan for the next 5 years. Hopefully soon.
Okay, so good.
All right.
Anything else, Tim?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Jenny, did you have anything else?
I need to
Oh, wait a minute.
mention, hey, Jenny, on that property down there, well and septic, probably need to be.
The only thing is, it's depending on who the purchaser was, it maybe you could reuse that. That's an
Okay.
option too,
Okay,
something we can talk about.
sure, okay. Well, yeah, thank you.
Also, we need to amend, those ordinances. To, our health department ordinances to just say fountain.
I was trying to figure out the best way to do that. I don't know if we could go through it and amend every ordinance with that reference, or whether we can just pass an ordinance that just deems It may not even be necessary once you have a change. For example, if you have a ordinance that says the county planner, you don't have a county planner, then.
It just reverts back.
It's whoever is appointed, so.
As long as it's not a pressing issue.
It's not, legally, it's not.
Okay.
I don't think anybody could object to an enforcement action by saying we had the reference to the title of the thing, so. But we'll figure out the best way to get it all cleaned up.
That'll work.
Now, Ken, back on that, those comments, why the state is changing the whole subject.
No, that'll be, I mean, right now, we're a clean slate of the new ordinance.
That's what we're rewriting right now. A lot of the ordinances, you can get, there's no Board of County in Lafayette County. They're all already scrubbed out. Some, it's fine counties and specific. And for the septic, they're based on current ordinances. Yes, there are changes in July. I have the red marks for what the changes are. I don't think they're gonna impact us that much.
Okay.
The nuts and bolts of the design of the septic system is not gonna change. There's peripheral stuff, it's
Right.
typical government stuff, Change 5 words and charge $5 million.
Right. Yeah, no, I was just more worried about the name at this point, so.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a pressing one.
Yeah, the draft, have you not got a copy of the new septic? Requirements?
Yes,
Yeah, and you can see more of it's all done.
right. But as of right now, though, that we're not adopting that is because we're waiting. We need, health board support on that as well.
You should, I think you should run it through your health board.
So that's what we're waiting on.
Or you could adopt it and then we revise it in July when the state comes with the new stuff, because we're gonna have to match whatever the state has.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, when I look at the changes the state has provided me for review and I look at what we have, there will be minor changes. Nothing that we can't just update, because everything has revision, right? You have the rule and then it's revised and it's revised and it's revised. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we'll just wait until that time comes. And then address it.
Thank you.
Paula, did you have anything else or you've already, you're chilling.
Thank you.
We would like to thank you for your time as county clerk. It's enjoyable working with you and going met you, and I know Patty will do a great job. She's not her first rodeo. But we're proud to work with you and
I still have
Appreciate it.
plans, and I said to Patty, if I'm not gainfully employed at the first year, I'd be bored and would like to stay on part-time.
Okay.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh, did you have anything?
Just that, to my great displeasure, Covington has refused our every 15 minutes program again. Citing several, in my opinion, no BS reasons, but that's a different people. Yeah.
Why did we do that?
That's for another time. And I have a message out to the principal at Mountain Central. I haven't heard back from him yet, but it's only been 4 or 5 days since I left him a message, so I'll try back. It's getting to be pretty late in the year. We may not be able to do it this year. We may have to start over again next year. But I'm fairly disappointed with Covington.
Wow, that's an awesome program. You guys do a great job.
When's the last time they've been involved?
Covington,
Yeah.
when it was a program originally,
Okay.
because they refused my program when we went to Attica pre-COVID.
Right.
And then we did Attica immediately following COVID. So now it's Covington's turn and they've refused the program again. So
Who makes the decision?
I'm assuming, well, this came from the principal at the high school. And she also brought the superintendent saying that they didn't think it was the right sign. And some others. So if we can't get Mountain Central this year, we'll try some place next year.
Okay, well, thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Joe, you have anything?
You already talked, so what you said.
Okay. Sounds good.
Just those lines, you know,
closing a road, but we have to close Summit County roads. I would be in contact with Tina.
Okay.
We'll also let the schools know, and then we'll send out a mass text to whoever needs to be involved. From now on, I believe it should be Tina and I speaking and closing the roads. Because Travis and I get out on the roads in the morning, let the guys know what's going on, and then we got their own prediction. Also, only, I don't know if we can have department heads have the capability of getting on the website, on our page.
We can,
I didn't know if you took care of that.
We have a banner that goes across the top of breaking news, and we would post it on there. If, you know, the county's shut down or whatever you want to put up there as for weather. That's what that was invented for us to do.
All right. And we'll keep everybody in the loop, but Tina and I will post it on.
Right here.
No, I can give you a quick brief on the landfill. Greg didn't have anything to report on the landfill. I just wanna let you guys know, he's done a wonderful job on the wells. The wells have been neglected for many years, and he has taken out the pads on them and gravel around them. He's doing a really great job at that. We probably got our permit for the mulching facility, so we got that going.
A long time coming.
It's insane how much work we put into that, but it's done, and it should be done permanently because of where it is now, everything is locked. The landfill looks great, the road alignment, that would be nice. The grass is growing great, he's continuing doing maintenance on it, Greg's on top of this landfill, so.
Oh, yeah,
It looks
no,
like-
he did, well, phenomenal.
Yeah, I just.
I was so happy when the commissioners appointed him because everything was coming to me as auditor and I knew nothing. And I know I had reached out to you multiple times.
He's really, something he's taken that landfill like it's his own baby, he's taking care of it. In great shape.
Yeah, we'll never have anybody do that again.
No,
Well, we'll close it here in what, a couple of years?
Yeah, hopefully. Permanently.
Permanently, yeah.
okay. Brad had,
Solar panels.
I have a question, Roger.
okay.
When do we get the deed to start tearing the jail down?
We need to finish separating out the antenna, which should be probably in the next week or so. I should get that for you.
We can tear out the east end and just put the fence up, can't we?
I would assume so, yes. We're gonna have property boundaries that go along the existing wall of the jail. So those are where the new fences will go, and anything outside the fence is yours, and anything inside the fence is theirs.
Okay.
And I think the state was gonna come, if you tell them you were gonna do,
Or are they gonna fence it?
oh, yeah, they got a fence in that tower, they own it.
Okay,
Yeah,
we could tear it away from there, I think.
yeah, you can take everything down but that one wall until they
And they'd be.
tell you they come take it.
That'd be great.
It's coming there, it'll be very quick. Okay.
Thank you.
We're working on it.
Okay.
Anything else?
Uh,
Because I think we want to close this meeting if we're gonna have a drainage board meeting.
yeah.
I don't think that'll take very long.
That'd be like that. Get their way for January.
Can't wait till,
Thanks.
we don't need to have a special meeting, do we?
Nope. No.
Okay,
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the meeting then.
I'll second. Wait, what? Oh, did you? You just.
Okay, we're
check
here.
it on? Okay,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting's over. We're doing a drainage board meeting here. 5 minutes. Thank you for coming.
That's such a
I think it's.